Holy jazzy Johnny Williams, Batman! Tiki here, and I've been watching through Batman the Animated Series for the first time. And yeah, I've come across season 3, and we've gotten some really good episodes so far, and also some not good episodes so far. But I don't know, I'm not doing a good job of setting it up. Dragon, what are you here to do?
Well, you see,
Can't
folks,
run a ball,
long ago,
folks.
I made a vow to educate Tiki in the ways of Batman the Animated Series. One could say, serving as his spirit guide to Gotham, in a way.
Yeah, and tonight we're talking about a bullet for Bullock. All right, Dragon, this one was really hyped up for me, and going in, I gotta tell you, it wasn't what I was expecting, but that's fine because it's still a really fun episode. It's a great Batman Bullock team up. It's almost like a what if storyline of like, oh my god, what if Bullock needed Batman's assistance in a big bad way? And it's a really cool like noir sort of mystery. And rewatching it, Dragon, I see there's a reason you urged me to rewatch it. I've rewatched it about 4 times now, and there's definitely a lot of nuance and layers to the actual mystery at toe here, and I appreciate it a lot. What I was expecting, Dragon, and this is going to maybe sound kind of silly in retrospect, I was expecting this to be maybe one of those like very special episodes about gun safety or something like that, where Bullock actually gets injured in the line of duty and he takes a bullet.
Well, we already kind of did that with Jim Gordon in I Am the Night, so,
I guess that's true. That's yeah. I should have seen that coming. Where, but all this time when we were talking about Bullet for Bullock, I expected Bullock to take the hit himself, but I digress. Okay, so Dragon, what does the general fan base have to say about this one?
this is like a very favorable episode. Everyone who loves Bullock loves this episode. This is kind of like the best. When everyone thinks fondly of Bullock from the animated series and Bullock as a character, usually thinking about this episode. So it definitely has stay power. Definitely, this one's a really well loved one. That probably the highlight of season 3 for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. All right, so hit us with some context, Dragon.
Okay, so this was directed by Frank Parr, and again goes to show sometimes sometimes you have your directors who, while they do infamous episodes, they do really good episodes. Like example of a really good one, Vendetta, which was the last really Bullock-centric episode, where it was Killer Croc getting revenge on Bullock. That whole episode.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, infamously, he's done Prophecy of Doom. So again, it's nice to see he's got some, he's got some good ones in the chamber there, like a Vendetta or a Bullet for Bullock. Writer on this, Michael Reeves. Oh my goodness, I love Michael Reeves. Michael Reeves, of course, worked on Mask of the Phantasm as well as Vendetta, and I want to say one of the first episodes of the animated series to use the jazz theme, "Read My Lips." So he did the ventriloquist episode as well. So yeah, Michael Reeves, he's been on a roll with his Batman episodes.
Nice.
Okay, Studio worked on this, and I'm not making this up. Studio Junio. That's the name, folks. So Studio Junio did this. The last thing they did, one thing of note that they did last time was Mudslide. Remember Mudslide?
I do remember Mudslide.
Yeah. So something that also to hit with the context. So this is where I'm gonna try not to lose you on this. Okay, so you'll notice we had a different intro at the start of this episode.
I did notice, yes.
And I kind of teased
And
this
yet
back
we're still
a while.
in season 3.
So okay, so this is where things get a little complicated with the animated series. So
we
now enter Adventures of Batman and Robin. So see the way we break things down. I'm going to try to keep this simple. The way we break things down, of course, we go by the way they release the volumes, which essentially is the way everyone really goes by it. It's like 3 seasons, then the revamp with new adventures. So essentially 4 seasons total. If you want to be all technical and everything, the way some people look at it is that the animated series as a whole breaks down into 2 seasons, which any way you slice it, it's messy. That's why people go simply by the way we do it, the volume 1, 2, 3 seasons, 1, 2, 3. Because again, there is a difference per the seasons. They're making their statement with season 1. They get all the landmark episodes in 2, and then 3 they kind of have like a house style and kind of like they're just doing adventures. So basically, when that in the animated series starts, they get approved for 65 episodes so they can be syndicated. So that's what happens. They get approved for 65 episodes, and they like them, so hey, do more episodes, but let's rebrand it a little bit. Let's do something because let's get the kids in a little bit more. So let's have Robin thrown in there. So really, if you break all the episodes down to 2 seasons, the second season is the Adventures of Batman and Robin. And where things get complicated is like five of the episodes from these 65 get carried over. That's why the Killer Croc episode we talked about last time, Sideshow, had the classic opening. So you'll notice a little bit of a mix. Like sometimes it'll be the classic intro, sometimes it'll be Adventures of Batman and Robin. So that's what I'm saying. So it got all mixed up. So that's why we just go with things simply on here. So just now you know what, when you see that, that's essentially the way they marketed the next season. So again, that's kind of maybe in some senses of word, you get a sense of like why when we do the Batman Robin movie, you get a sense of where they're pulling from for some of these things. Because there's another Mr. Freeze episode this season, and there's a Bane episode. So
I have seen that. I'm very excited about that. Yeah.
So you can kind of see a little bit of the DNA. Like, okay, so the Batman Robin movie, maybe if they're pulling from the animated series, I can guess what season they're pulling from. The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Anyway. That's not an insult against the Adventures of Batman and Robin. I'm just saying, again, if they're looking to pull from some stuff. Anyway. Okay. So, let's see. So, this adapts a Chuck Dixon story, Detective Comics number 651, which I completely forgot about. That this adapts a comic, and it's really they adapted very faithfully. They made it a lot better in the animated series, I feel, because this was actually a recent adaptation. This is from 1992, when the animated series starts. This was in the comics, and they kind of pulled that. Well, we really love this Bullock character. Let's take a Bullock story from the comics. And let's see, is won an Emmy for the music. Of course, the music is a huge part of the episode.
The music is wonderful.
Yeah, episode won an Emmy for the music, thanks to Shirley Walker kind of overseeing the music as well. Again, the sons of Shirley Walker, if you will, Harvey Cohen, kind of won the Emmy here. And fun fact, Ronnie Del Carmen. You know Ronnie Del Carmen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie Del Carmen. He got some of his first starts in the field of animation was in Batman the Animated Series. So we can have a link here between this and of course where he's eventually going to go with Pixar down the line here. Again, The Link of My Two Loves by Ronnie Del Carmen. It's quite fun. All right, so let's just dive right into it then.
Okay, so the episode starts right outside Bullock's apartment as he's coming home late at night. Dragon, very important keywords. Bullock's apartment late at night. Masked figure drives up in a car and. Oh boy, drives right into the sidewalk, drives through a mailbox, and almost pins Gordon. Very close. But Gordon oh, God, I'm so sorry. Jesus Christ, I'm sorry.
He tries to give Bullock a fender massage.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Also, a fun fact, Tiki, as you probably noticed with the snow and everything, this is a holiday episode. So it's kind of set around the holidays. Not Christmas, but after Christmas.
It's weird. It's set around the holidays, but it's like it's not really Christmas or New Year's. It's kind of just like in that weird, like, in-between week between the two.
Yeah. So let's see. So we have a nylon masked would-be assassin tries to take out Bullock, and like a literal drive-by. Not just like a drive-by shooting, but in the comic it was like a drive-by shooting, but here they made it a little bit, oh God, they're going to drive over him.
Okay, well, importantly, I want to kind of put a pin in the mystery here where we do not see the person actually fire a shot in this scene, correct?
Correct. He doesn't shoot him, no.
All right. So, yeah, that's kind of building up the mystery here. Scoop writers, take notes.
Mm-hmm.
All 9 of you.
Right. So we have a nice transition from the moon after Bullock's just kind of gathering his bearings from kind of almost getting the Dickens scared out of him. He's looking. We go to the moon and we transition to the bat signal. Of course, we're on the rooftop, but it ain't Jim Gordon waiting on the GCPD rooftop this time. It's Bullock with a problem. He's going to Batman. You know he's desperate. He's been the J. Jonah Jameson for Batman this whole time. He's always like, why do we need the freak in the long underwear? He's never, but this is big stuff here. He almost got killed.
So Bullock pretty much starts things out, right off the bat. I'm going to start things off. You're a freak in the menace, and those are your good points. But the commissioner trusts you and says you serve a purpose, so I go along. Batman thanks him for his honesty.
I appreciate your honesty. Of course, something we should talk about right off the bat. There was just that great string of dialogue. First of all, again, Michael Reeves. He's one of the best Batman writers, too. Again, Phantasm already noted that. But, of course, his dialogue mixed with Bobby Costanzo's performance. Robert Costanzo is one of the all-time greats one of the finest performances as a character with Harvey Bullock, and this is like Bullock's crowning episode, so he's really bringing it this whole episode, right?
Oh yeah, sure. All right, so I love how defensive Bullock. He doesn't want the Eternal Affairs looking into him, because Batman says, "Why not just go to the police with your problem?" And then Batman just kind of asks point blank, "Are you taking money? Are you on a payroll?" And what's
Are
his
you on the
response?
take?
Yeah, are you on a take? And what's his response?
I never took a dime from nobody. I just bend the rules a little sometimes,
But I
We're
love how
not
defensive
that
he is, though.
different.
I never took a dime from nobody. I love how that's the line that he doesn't cross.
See, Paul Dini always had this philosophy about Harvey Bullock, which is really a brilliant thing, because in the animated series, you didn't want to make a character like Bullock who you're going to see a bunch of times, and you didn't want to make him a dirty cop. So what they did in the comics, it was basically like you saw in Gotham. He was like reluctantly dirty. Remember, that's pretty much what you saw in Gotham.
Sure.
And here, it's the way Dini kind of did it for Saturday morning television. Bullock is soiled, but he's not dirty. It's like he's bent the rules, and we kind of see some examples of that later on here, like with Summer Gleason and everything later on. He's bent the rules. He's doing things without warrants, but again, he's not a full dirty cop. He's definitely soiled though.
So Batman just very much insists we're on the same side, but we're not the same. I'll help you, but you've got to color them clean.
Exactly. Gonna love Batman's on the line and saying this is like kind of the 48 hours of it all right here. So Batman teamed up with Bullock, and these two guys do not like each other. Batman, like, he tolerates Bullock. We've seen shove him around a couple times, and Bullock's always firing from the hip with his mouth first. He's always always calling them names and everything. This is a partnership doomed, but it's going to be so much fun.
All right. So we get our first Bat exit.
That we do. Also, Bullock gave him a floppy disk of all the cases up to 5 years to figure out. Basically, wants Batman to concoct a list so he can find out who tried to give him a fender massage last night.
Right. All right, and then we get to one of my favorite scenes in the episode, Dragon, just because of how much it sets up and how moody and atmospheric it is.
I love the noir setting and the jazzy
absolutely.
Score and everything. It's so good.
And then, of course, we meet he's not the red
landlord.
herring.
He's the land.
No, I know. I just what's his function in the plot? He's not the red herring. He's very much the suspect. I don't know.
Yeah, well, definitely not the red herring, because that guy comes later.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Nivens here. We meet Nivens, who's played by Jeffrey Jones. The principal from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's that guy.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so point being, Bullock enters with really muddy shoes, just like 8 hours, just kind of walking in the. Again, I can tell you, the lobby of the apartment looks really nice. The apartment building looks really nice, and then as the Bullock comes trouncing in, and we definitely showcase the sloppy element of Bullock. And Bullock's always been like a sloppily designed character, and that's been kind of the point. He's always like the haggard kind of, lieutenant. Anyways, they're just kind of walking in the place, slopping around, to the dismay of the landlord Nivens here, who's just like, Detective Bullock, there's a doormat outside. I always thought you were the doormat, Nivens, and Bullock is just, he's trouncing this poor guy.
He is.
Like, flicks his toothpick at him and everything. It's like, oh, God, Bullock.
So, but, at face value, it's just like, oh, pesky landlord.
Certainly. It's like the opposite of Spider-Man 2. Like, he ain't kowtowing to that landlord. He's putting him in his place. It's like, can you take out the garbage once in a while? Like, he knows Bullock's not going to listen to him, but he's just chasing him up the stairs.
I will not have roaches in my building.
He turns bright red when he's just shouting at the top of his lungs. Your apartment stinks. I won't have roaches. Happy holidays. And of course, this is Bobby Cassan just bringing it home here. Happy holidays, Nivens.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God. All right. Now, of course, this is all great setup here for, we have the motivation for what's going to happen later. So we have all the reasons right now established. We have a little clue for the audience.
Yeah. And so we get a really, really atmospheric shot that might be my favorite moment in the whole thing, where Bullock just goes out on his balcony with a hot cup of coffee after a long day's work, sees the sets the stage for the remodeled apartments. He's like, thank heaven for rent control.
And before he walked into that balcony scene, we have this gag where he goes and he sees the shadow of a gun waiting for him in his apartment.
Oh yeah, right.
And as we turn the light on, a bunch of roaches that scatter. And again, classic for Bullock's apartment. And again, that's exactly what the landlord figured. It's like, oh, Bullock. All right, so now we're in the Batcave. From one
Yes.
hole in the wall to another. So Alfred is like, Harvey Bullock, the same detective. And this is always my favorite description for Harvey Bullock, by the way. It's like, I think it's the perfect descriptor Alfred came up with. The same detective who looks like an unmade bed. Because if you look at Bullock, from a distance, he does. Again, Bullock's a big guy. He's very squared off. He does look like an unmade bed. It's perfect. So he's asking, like, Harvey Bullock asked for your help, which is, again, the J. Jonah Jameson of the animated series. He's asking for your help. It must be serious. So Batman's cross-referenced the names. It's going to take some time, but in the meantime, he has a feeling that Bullock's going to need a little guardian angel for the time being. So Batman's going to shadow Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile.
So this is where Montoya and Bullock are on the rooftop, right?
Yes, they're on the case. They're basically in the midst of they're doing a little bust. They're in the middle of a bust right now. So basically, it's a new Montoya, by the way. We recast her. But again, this is what I'm talking about. I love the quality recasting where it's so similar you don't even realize the difference. Where, again, Leon Schimmer does the voice now instead of, I believe, Lulio was the original. Point being, new Montoya we keep from here on the animated series. A little flag, a little pinpoint just to make there. Okay.
Yeah, I very much didn't notice it was a recasting at all. So anyways, really Bullock is chasing the perp onto the roof. Very suspenseful chasing here. He's he's kind of like going, the perp is kind of like hiding in between the smokestacks.
Yeah, these are bank robbers, by the way, who skagged the bank guard on Christmas Day, so these guys were bad news. So yeah, so Bullock's being chased by a guy. He's chasing the guy on the rooftop who then gets the drop on him, and thankfully Batman gets the drop on the dropper. So Batman throws a batarang, get an awesome silhouette leap here and kick, where basically Batman leaps and kicks the guy. Let's see, of course, he's like, what are you doing here? Watching your back. I asked you to find a name, not hold my hands. The Bullock's like, I don't need your help. Again, classic. So, Batman has questions, so he can kind of narrow down the search and everything. He's like, hey, later, after my shift. It's just like, how do I find you? How do I contact you? I'll find you. And of course, Bat exit should go off.
I love how the Bat exit is kind of a rule of threes, Dragon. We kind of build to the Gordon line. We build to the Gordon reference.
Yeah, we do, and it's one of my favorite parts. All right, so now here's a gag here. It's a gag, but it also kind of showcases the whole soiled but not dirty quality of Bullock here, where basically Montoya says, hey, what is it, Bullock? And he goes, no, nothing. I'm just reading this guy's Miranda rights. And basically Bullock gives his version of Miranda rights. Says you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, if you can be held against you in court of law. If you give up that right, you'll bore me. So just keep your yap shut, dog breath. Which again, the idea is like any lawyer, any IA guy would like rake him over the coals. Like, if you don't give him the actual Miranda speech, we can a lawyer will pick that apart. So that's basically that's the soil quality right there. He's doing his job, but not as well as he probably could.
All right. So then he goes back to his apartment, right?
Yep, we have a bad entrance in Bullock's apartment, which is, so you take some chances for he's almost blew him to Kingdom Come. So it gives Bullock a scare. Questions, remembering. Look, this is the great dynamic here. This is not a Batman Gordon episode, folks. This is Batman and Bullock. It's just like these two guys they rub each other the wrong way, and like Bullock has no patience for Batman's style at all.
All right. So Batman basically comes up with a theory that someone definitely is trying to scare him, but they might not be trying to kill him.
Yes, because basically Batman's examining the mail. He's been mailed threats, no prints or anything. I'm thinking of starting a scrapbook. Yeah, good dialogue. So during this sequence, Bullock's getting comfy too, and again very slobbishly too. We highlight his slobbish nature here, where he's like spilling soda all over himself. He's eating old pizza. Just making a mess of everything. Let's see. So, and I love how the answer is under his nose the whole time as to why someone would want to scare him, or someone would go after him, would try to kill him like this. And again, the answer is during this whole sequence, he's making a slob of himself, which of course is going to be the big reveal at the end of the episode. Again, clues keep formulating here. So Batman's theory: someone's trying to scare him versus trying to kill him, because an assassin would just do him here. Bullock says, "Oh, it could be amateurs." Bullock's not buying any of that. Batman's logic and being the pro in the apartment's not doing it for him. So, I just give me that. Do you have that list of names yet? Not yet. He's going to find out. So then, of course, mid-turn, bad exit.
And then this is where we get the commissioner line, right?
Yeah, this is where we get the line.
I don't know how the commissioner deals with it.
No, it's even better than that. I wonder how Gordon puts up with this.
All right, so another day, another assassination attempt on the life of Harvey Bullock, as you do.
And iconically, Bullock getting some donuts. Loves it. A lot of donut gags with Bullock in the animated series. So he's grabbing some donuts, and he's taking the subway. We have the jazzy music coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
He's pushed onto the tracks, and then we have a commercial break. Like, oh God, we're gonna run over Bullock. We gotta get back. So Bullock narrowly avoids death. I want to say the way it looks like is he just dives under the train as it's passing by. It's either that or
it was framed kind of weird.
That's a thing. But the point being, he survived. That's the important thing. But not his donuts. He's peeved about that. Just kicks kicks the donuts like Gordon kicks the money in the Dark Knight. Remember how Gordon angrily kicks that money in the Dark Knight? Just like, they stole the money, left some behind.
All right, so we have a really nice kind of slice of life moment with Montoya and Bullock here. Where Montoya is just like, "Hey, Harv, you don't look so good. You feeling okay? I mean, you usually don't look good, but you look worse." Yeah, and Bullock's just like, "Yeah, well, you try being on this gig 15 years and see how you look, Montoya."
The cesspool for 15 years.
So she asks what he's doing for New Year's, and this is my favorite line in the episode. "Same thing that I did for Christmas. My laundry."
And great dialogue. And also, I love the animation on the shaken Bullock. He's trying to have his coffee, but his hand keeps shaking after all these. He's being run rag with all these assassination attempts.
Right. All right, so then Batman enters, and Bullock just instantly is just like, "You got what I want, pointy ears."
Yep, and he has a lot of people don't like you, Bullock. It was a long list. Does the name Vincent Starkey mean anything? This is all from the book, by the way, Vincent Starkey. I think if you look again, I think all of this turned out a lot better in the end. The animated.
Does the name Red Herring mean anything to you, Bullock?
What is it, Jones? I was at my cousin's house.
Oh God.
Point being, okay. Pup named Scooby-Doo reference for the kids out there. Okay, anyway, so Vincent Starkey here, does the name mean anything? Of course, otherwise known as Vinny the Shark. Great name. So Vinny the Shark, oddly not a lone shark, at least I don't think so. If I were to guess, maybe you start off as a lone shark, then escalate into other crime. Essentially, this guy, Vinny Shark, he ran a drug lab in South Gotham. Bullock broke it up when he was a vice cop. He's we've seen him as a beat cop in Phantasm. He's worked his way up in a bunch of jobs, Yeah. Anyway, so... while he was in Vice, he nabbed Vinny the Shark, gave him 10 to 20, but he was a mild prisoner, so he got out with 8 years. And like Batman tells him, he's out, Bullock, which means he's going to be gunning for him for revenge. And Batman this is one of my favorite moments of the episode right here. So Batman wants Bullock to follow up on a lead. Bullock is really offended by this. Hey, I ain't some wet-eared rookie. You don't tell me how to conduct an investigation. Then this is awesome. Batman grabs him by the lapels because he's sick of Bullock's BS. He just grabs him. Do you want to live, Bullock?
You want to live, Bullock?
It's a great moment. Love it so much.
Yeah.
So Batman's just had enough. He's been really patient with Bullock. So Bullock, of course, he clams up. Gets a little scared by Batman there. He'll never admit it. He wants Summer Gleason did a report on the South Gotham crack houses, which again, Tiki, on Saturday morning, we're talking about crack houses, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, you're right. So it does kind of have a little bit of an after-school special vibe going on, and I don't say that in a bad way.
Yeah. But again, it's like one that's not like stopping everything to a grinding.
Right.
Drugs are bad. Yeah. It's like, okay, bad guy, big deal. We think he tried to kill Bullock, and in this case, also dealing drugs. Not good. So let's see. So point being, Summer Gleason has some information you should visit to try to get a lead on, like where we need to find Vinny the Shark. It's essentially what we're doing. Batman's going to do his side of that on his end. He's going to interrogate the source directly. Here's some leads. So let's see. Anyway, so little Brad Bird-esque, like Brad Bird not sugarcoating it for the kids almost.
Sure.
Let's see. Batman goes to make a few. I'm going to go make a few inquiries. And of course, Bullock here, he doesn't know. He doesn't know if he's going to go to IA or he's going to like ruffle Sylvester's going to get him in trouble. So he's like, "Hey, pal, this is my life we're talking about here. Bats, bats!" Just screaming out the window, which is trying to catch up with Batman.
All right, so Bullock and Summer Gleason.
Oh, wait, best use of Summer Gleason in the entire animated series, for my mind, is like the best use of ever.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So of course, Bullock is kind of talking down to her through the episode, and but Summer is holding her own. She's like, "You're lucky I even talked to you at all, Bullock. Tell you what, come back in half an hour."
Oh, I think it's like about an hour though. But anyway.
Sorry.
Anyway, point being, like, come back in there, like, Bullock pull. I love the animation Bullock pulling on the charm, the old Bullock charm. Like, come on, Gleason, where's your Christmas spirit? I trust you as far as I can throw you. They're real tumultuous back, again, very noir-esque, like, the PI asking the old friend for a favor, that sort of thing. It's like gives like that smile, like, come on. It's like, oh, come back in an hour, I'll see what I can do. So again, just needs to wait an hour, but impatient Harvey. Again, the sloppy, kind of soiled detective here. Bullock stepping on toes, like he said. He gets a bad idea to look for himself in her office, and that's going to blow up in his face.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, we're in South Gotham, I believe, and we have Rosie the drug dealer. And again, we see a drug deal on Saturday morning television.
Yeah, these guys are, I don't know, I really like them. They're kind of like a mix between like a modern day drug dealer and like a 1940s Scarface drug dealer.
Yeah. Kind of funny given we've had Scarface a couple episodes.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding around, but yeah. Okay. So, and a happy new year to you. Of course, free enterprise. What makes America great? Now, here's where we have kind of a cool PSA mode there. Like this is the PSAs that would have captivated us all as kids, man. Where you say, like, okay, guy makes a drug deal, then Batman interrogates the crap out of him, puts the fear of God into him, like swoops in, drags him to a rooftop. Swoops and grabs Rosie. What do you want? Not what, Slimeball. Who? Vinny the Shark. He says, that's not my connection anymore. Wrong answer. And I live for these interrogations where he just drops him from the rooftop, and of course he grapples him on the way down, uses the grappling gun, dangles him just for effect, and he leaves him down there long enough for a car to come by and almost finish him off RoboCop style. Then he reels him in using the grappling line just to put the scare into him, and now take two. Says, okay, and you see a bat smile. A little bit of a Frank Miller out there, that bat smile. Yeah. Awesome.
All right, so meanwhile, Gleason busts Harvey for looking into her files, unannounced, uninvited.
Made a mess out of her office.
You've blown it big time, Bullock. Yeah, you've blown it big time. Don't ever come back to me again. And, this is a good line. Bullock's just like, but it's my life we're talking about here, Gleason. This guy's out to whack me. Well, then the good news is you'll end up on the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah. All right, so then Bullock's trying to hail a cab.
Uh-huh.
No luck, and of course, as angrily, shaking his fists at the cab. Batmobile shows him. This is another great moment for me. He's like, "Get in!" And he's like, grabs Bullock and shoves him in the Batmobile.
Okay, Dragon, I'm going to propose something to you.
What?
Now you know how at Disney World they have minivans.
Minivans.
Yeah, they're essentially like Minnie Mouse themed vans that you can rent. It's kind of like an expensive Uber, but themed to Minnie Mouse.
I know nothing about this, Tiki.
Okay, well, what if at Universal Studios or wherever they eventually build a Batman theme park?
Probably Six Flags or something, Tiki.
Okay, well, I want Batmobiles to take me to and from that theme park, Dragon.
That would be the best thing.
I want Batmobiles to pick me up and just have the full-on experience. I don't know, maybe have it be like in continuity that Bruce Wayne's got like a line of public transportation using the Batmobile technology or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Anyways, sorry, I'm getting off track.
All right, anyway. Okay, let's see. So now we have a little dialogue scene inside the Batmobile as now Batman has a location that he got at Rosie. He found out that Vinny the Shark is running rock crystal out of an abandoned auto plant on Bayside. So let's see. So then, of course, Bullock, he's questioning, hey, what is this button? Nice starship you got going on in here. Like, what's this button do? And, of course, Batman, before he pulls a Dee Dee, Batman says, passenger ejector seat. And we're like, Bullock, ah! And of course, you see, again, if you look, you see Batman smile like, I like messing with Bullock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the two team up to take down Starkey. And Batman. Let's see. He's while they're surveilling the place and before they make their grand entrance and sneak into the auto plant. Batman's puzzled by why would a guy like Starkey make an idle threat. He doesn't seem like the type to make an idle threat.
Right,
Like, why would he
right.
want you to
Yeah,
leave
there's something
town?
off here.
And so before they can really think through the matter anymore on that, we then enter into the action sequence, a really great jazzy action sequence where Vinny Shark is overseeing a shipment. By the way, the design on Vinny the Shark here, which I really like, he looks very old school gangster. Like I can't pinpoint what exactly he looks like. It's like maybe Edward G. Robinson a little bit. It's like kind of the thick lipped, kind of old school '40s gangster. He looks great, and I love the Greg Berger doing the voice too. Vinny the Shark is like a one note villain. If I were to speculate on like the climate of the Gotham mob, I want to say he's trying to pick up the drug slack that since Rupert Thorne's been nabbed. I want to say that's what's going on here, but anyway. So Batman Bullock, they're in the catwalks above, and then Batman leaps down to the jazzy version of the Batman theme, which is awesome.
Yes. Da, 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 da. I can't do it, but it's
We're not
so
going to sell
good.
the jazziness and just humming it. Yeah, you can't do jazz like that. But yes,
Yeah, sorry.
something like that. Anyway, so
It just literally sounds like we're humming the theme song at this point.
okay, the point being, just take our words for it, folks. It's a really great idea, like a jazzy rendition of the Batman theme in your really noir episode, which is just really your kind of fun noir episode, not your dark
Yeah,
noir episode. Anyway, so we have some fun. Like Batman, sweet. He glides, he leaps down there. He does a sweep kick on two of the gunmen, tosses one of them. Bullock, he saves Batman, by shooting Starsky's gun, the Shark's gun out of his hand. We have a nice entrance here, as a really nice. Basically, we have this great entrance here. Like, nice entrance, Harvey. You've never lost your sense of timing. Of course, the Shark snaps his fingers here, and he drops a car on Batman and Bullock. And Batman's like saving Bullock's hide before he goes like down, so he doesn't get crushed by the car. Now they're on the inside of the. They're trapped in like a shell of a car. And then we have what I call the money shot of the episode. The episode's called Bullet for Bullock. It's just this wonderful money shot of they're surrounded by guns, and you have Batman in shadow as Bullock just like in front and center in the car with the gun to his face.
Mm.
Taking Batman out will will be good for my reputation, but the real pleasure is going to be taking you out, Bullock. Commercial break, awesome. So how the heck are they gonna get out of this? That's like '60s Batman show. Take notes. This is how you do it seriously, man. You were clever and witty, but this is how you do it with the stakes. Got to get those stakes in there.
All right, cut back to commercial. 8 years I've waited, Bullet, but now it's payback time.
Yeah.
The Batman throws a smoke bomb.
Yeah, like a smoke pellet or a tear gas pellet out there, and basically he kicks the. Oh, this is awesome! He kicks the door like it's an old door. So he basically kicks it off and like takes out a guy. It's like Cap kicking a shield or something, man. It was awesome. So he just like kicks the door and takes out a guy.
Here's an image that's socially relevant, Dragon. Batman wearing a mask and kicking ass.
Yeah, putting on his gas mask.
Well, let's just pretend it's a face mask. Let's just pretend it's a regular face protection mask, and it's Batman wearing a face protection mask being badass.
Mm-hmm. Right. So let's see. Okay, so awesome bit here. Really great choreography in this scene where basically Batman grabs Vinny the Shark's arm and like twists it up so he can't shoot, so he's shooting his gun in the air. So Batman disarms the man. He's like taking this is I love I could watch Batman disarm guys suckers all the live long day. He goes up there, just grabs the Tommy gun out of their hands and like drags them in. Bullock, he kind of mirrors the action here, just a little less gracefully because he just jumps on a guy, which is awesome. Like just like throws all of his weight. Bullock can move quite gracefully when motivated. Just, like leaps on the guy. Starkey, he runs away. Bullock gives chase. Bullock, he basically leaps from he jumps from a catwalk, grabs a chain, and again, Bullock he's still got something, man. He's a little soiled, but he's got it. Grabs a chain, swings down, lands on the shark, and nabs him. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Vinny. Bullock pulls his gun on Vinny Shark, make sure he doesn't make a false move. Like, Merry Christmas, Vinny, and Happy New Year. You can just call me Santa. And guess who made my naughty list? The gun's drawn, the shark's sweating like Bullock. Batman's going, "No, Bullock! Hey, relax, cowhead. You know, this dirtbag don't get off that easy." A nice little moment between the two. A little Lethal Weapon moment.
Yeah.
You know? Alright, so
All right.
Bullock thinks this is over.
But little does he know.
Little did he know. So he thanks Batman, and they say, "I guess I owe you one for this." But little does he know. So let's see. Then Bullock and Montoya, then Bullock and Montoya are interrogating Vinny the Shark in the sweatbox.
Vinny doesn't know anything about the letters.
Essentially, I think he cops to the drug trade and everything, but again, he knows nothing about the letters. And of course, we have a great Bullock line here. Do you have it?
Oh God. No, I don't. Sorry.
I got paperwork and IA all over me like a cheap suit. But he doesn't know, which means that he gets carted away just for the charges that they can get him on. Bullock and look at Montoya comforts her partner here in Bullock. Bullock's just going, "It's got to be him, Montoya. There's no one else. It's got to be him."
But then, meanwhile, later on that evening, outside of his apartment,
he's going into his apartment, but something's different this time. The masked man from Act 1, who, again, if you look in the reflection, you see a masked man look fit in this guy's description, a little nylon mask and everything, pulls a gun on him. So this is where we get the whole actual bullet for Bullock here right now. This guy's trying to shoot him here. So pulls a gun on him. "You just should have left town. You didn't take the hints. You should have taken my advice." And I tried to scare you. I didn't want it to come to this. I love the desperation on a guy who really didn't want to do this, which is why you see the escalation throughout the episode. Like,
and
the subway
that's
was
why
legit.
He doesn't shoot at the beginning of the episode. He has a gun, but he doesn't ever fire.
Exactly. He's hoping just to scare him. I mean, but over time, he's getting progressively more desperate. He shoves him in front of a subway car, so he was trying to kill him, but at that point, but it didn't work. So now he's got to go point blank. He's like, "Okay, I gotta do it." But anyway, so of course, Bullock recognizes the voice on this guy. Wait a minute, I love the delivery of Costanza here. Wait a minute, I know you. Don't move. You see a man on the edge reaching for the trigger. It's a really tense sequence. You think, "Oh, guy's gonna shoot poor Bullock. We already did this with Gordon. I can't handle another one. Oh no." "It's your fault. I tried to warn you." So he's about to shoot, and then Batman tackles him awesomely. And of course, Batman saying he said, "Well, it's all right, it's your life," beforehand. Just kind of saying, "Okay, well, Bullock says it's over," but Batman, he's a thorough guy. "I thought this wasn't over." So we reveal, we unmask the guy, and who is it, Tiki?
It's the landlord.
Nivens?
Nivens? That's such a great name for a villain.
Probably a nod to David Nivens, if I'm a betting man.
Even if it's a low-scale villain, it's still a fun name.
Well, it's a lot more memorable than the Mad Bomber.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Nothing against the Grey Ghost episode, but let's be honest. I mean, aside from looking like Bruce Timm and being Bruce Timm, I mean, there wasn't. Anyway, so point being, the Nivens thing is a perfect reveal. How did you feel about the reveal that it was Nivens?
Well, I like it because it's funny, but at the same time, it's a little bit poignant to Bullock, where it's like, at the end, Bullock's kind of like pondering, like, man, a guy like Vinny the Shark is one thing, but a guy like Nivens, just to see how far-reaching the hate that people have for him goes. It's pretty poignant, honestly.
Yeah. So like Nivens' rationale here is like, you and your late hours and your filthy habits. And Jeffrey Jones, I mean, say what you will about the man, I think he's really great here. He's really fun here. And this is well, again, the 90s was his heyday, and this is like where he's really doing some of his best stuff. The 90s, and again, Ferris Bueller as well in the 80s, but you know what I mean. Anyway, it's like, "Do you have any idea what your apartment's worth these days? All of this was about rent control? No! I wanted you gone! You're not a 10, you're a pestilence who treats me like dirt." And then we have like the crazy shot of him here. We have this great crazy shot. His eyes go like white, and it's like, "No jury in the world would have convicted me." He's just laughing. He's just completely. Bullock drove this poor landlord crazy with just his sloppy habits. It's hilarious. And then like Bullock gets a wake up call there. Vinny the Shark, it's no surprise, but with this, and of course we have we bring back the the music, the great kind of noir music, and of course Bullock kind of, and this is how the book ends. But again, I like how we kind of made it a little bit more personal here, which is funny. I was thinking about moving anyway. The town, it's really place has really gone downhill. I guess I owe you for this. Forget about it, Bullock. You've got enough problems. When Batman says you've got enough problems, you know you gotta,
Yeah, right.
you gotta make some choices. So Bullock kind of shrugs it off, and he's just like he's going to book Nivens, and of course we go up, and that's the episode.
All right. So, final thoughts, Dragon. Like I said, it's interesting because I thought this episode would be a little bit more heavy-handed than it is. And honestly, the fact that it's not heavy-handed, the fact that it plays around with a very serious idea of, like, there is legitimately someone out for Bullock, and it's not good news, but does it in a really kind of, like, free-spirited way where there's a lot of comic relief between Batman and Bullock, and, you got the really jazzy soundtrack that really defines the episode. So, I mean, in that way, I really, it really is an episode that very much stands as a good kind of like standalone sort of bottle episode. Like I said, it's a good it's a good like what if you will. Like what if Bullock and Batman had to work together instead of Gordon and Batman, and it's a lot of fun. I liked it a lot.
Good. So for me, not just an Emmy winner for the music. Some of these episodes, like again, I forget how many Emmys at the end of the day Batman won, because I know it won like the legit Emmy for Heart of Ice, for the episode itself, which is great. I know Dini's got some for writing, but I think some of that was Tiny Toon, some of the Amblin shows. But that's the thing. I mean, these are the episodes. Like, I mean, these again, they really. Again, this was fun to have the jazz. Again, it was like a really kind of a love letter to film noir in a sense, and the kind of the pulpy adventures. I mean, this was such a great episode. I mean, it's so great. It was like one, they're outdoing themselves with yet another like one issue, like a one shot adaptation, like a one shot comic that we kind of brought to life and improved upon the source material. And again, like followed it pretty much beat for beat. Just add the holidays. That's really the only difference. Add the holidays, the nice jazzy score. Not a lot really different there, but it really brought it to life with like the love for the characters and everything. The episode itself, I think, a testament to Bullock and how well the animated series got that character and really kind of made him kind of a household name for Bat fans. It's such a gem of an episode. You get jazzy, the noir tale. It's with the comedic slant applied to it. Tells you everything you need to know about Bullock as a character, and definitely one of the best of season 3. Is it Demon's Quest for me? Not quite, but is it a great one shot? Is it a great standalone episode? Absolutely, it's a phenomenal episode. A lot of love for it. I think as a lot of people do. Good stuff.
All right, Dragon, tee us up for the next one.
A DA gone missing? The Batman on trial? A kangaroo court in Arkham? Can Batman get a not guilty verdict in a jury of rogues? Or will it be a death sentence? You be the judge next time you tune in to find out. Same animated Bat time, same animated Bat place.
On the next visit to the animated Batcave with Trial. Same thing I did on Christmas. My laundry.